Hello, this is Michelle, and welcome to another episode. We're going to talk about the secret truth to manifesting your ideal man. You're going to really love this. It's going to go into a lot of detail about manifestation and what is the real secret behind it. So stay tuned and you're going to love it. Hey, my name is Michelle Chung and I'm a live manifestation expert, which means I help women manifest their soulmate live in person, offline. And I help career-driven, A-type alpha women find their man so they can have the amazing, committed, and effortless relationship they deserve. So I happened to come across this book called Dollars Flow to Me Easily by Richard Dotts. It was published in 2016, And, sometimes when something just catches your eye, like you see someone post something online, someone talks about it, or you hear somebody, three different people talking about the same thing at one time. It's kind of like those moments where you're like, okay, this is not a coincidence. There's something that catches your attention. It's your intuition kind of just saying to you, you need to listen to this or learn this or know about this right now. So it's kind of like that. So I was looking at a post on my business mentor and coach, his Facebook group, and one of the other people had posted about this book, and I was like instantly intrigued because I love books like Think and Grow Rich and As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. These are some of my favorite books, and they are actually quite deep spiritual books that really have nothing to do with the physical side of like making money or running your business or relationships or health. A lot of these books always go into a lot more the spiritual and the real truth of how things actually happen for you. And so I started listening to it. I found the audiobook online. It's on YouTube, and I started masterminding this with one of my favorite clients, and she and I just went over this book in great detail and just picked out the most amazing insights. And it's the best way when you actually talk about it and discuss it with people who are also interested in learning and discovering these things. And so I started like noting this down, and I thought, okay, this is actually perfect for a podcast episode, and especially because these are all universal principles. It's not just about making money, having better health and relationships. These are just principles of manifestation that work in all areas of your life. So even though it was a book based on financial abundance, the principles really just apply to everything. So I started to note all these down, and I really wanted to record this podcast episode because I think everything here is just so pertinent, and it's going to really disprove or turn on its head a lot of really commonly held beliefs that are just not true. So I believe that this book holds a lot of truths because I have experienced a lot of these myself, like from manifesting my partner Raf to manifesting, clothes that I wanted, manifesting the career that I wanted. So I was able to do all these things kind of unconsciously, but it wasn't until I started reading this book that also a lot of things were falling into place. Like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I'm pretty sure I was doing that, or I was being that way, or did that particular thing, and then my manifestation came very quickly after. And so if you may have the belief of, that it may take a long time to manifest your partner, this book is going to really change your beliefs a lot around that. So I'm going to just go through some of the points here now. So one of the main issues is that if you continue to focus on something as a problem or as an issue, this is the thing that actually blocks you. So my client actually had a big breakthrough because she realized that she was focusing on the negative. She was so for her it was like health. She was also always focusing on, okay, I'm not healthy, I'm not fit, I'm not. So universe doesn't work this way. The universe works on the topic that you focus on. It doesn't recognize whether it's I don't want this or I do want this. Okay, so that's one thing to remember, that nothing is actually a problem or issue, it just is. So you may have heard other brilliant authors like Eckhart Tolle or other manifestation experts saying that things are just the way they are. It is what it is, right? If you've ever heard that phrase. So if you see things in life as a problem or an issue, know that this is one of the things that block you. So if you're thinking, oh, it's a problem for me to be single, it's not being in a relationship, or society looks down upon single women, and you see this as a problem, this is one of the things you have to let go of, okay? Another reason why things don't manifest is because people might have this belief that it's really hard to change, probably because people around you have also experienced this hardship. So see that if your parents had an unhealthy, unhappy relationship, they got divorced when you were growing up. If you see relationships through this lens of relationships is hard work, there's always problems, there's always fighting, this belief is going to also block your manifestation of your ideal partner, your ideal man, from appearing in your life, because this is what you're attracting, okay? So also, for example, say society believes that some diseases are impossible to cure, like cancer. And there's so much money and fundraising that goes into this. Like even one of my business mentors focuses on raising money for curing cancer. And they believe that cancer is a real problem in society. It's like this incurable disease. All these beliefs create this as a huge problem. So I'm not saying that not to like do anything about, you know, if you're unhealthy and things like that, but the focus on cancer as a really debilitating disease is the problem. Okay, I actually believe that cancer is when your cells manifest from blocked emotions in your body through my studies of kinesiology and mind-body medicine, so that the body's natural state is health. So it's like relationships and money as well. Your natural state is to be love, joy, peace. And when you're blocking your natural state from being this way of love, joy, peace, you start to take on the identity, or you start to have all these feelings and negative emotions that start to block you from your natural state. And that's when disease actually starts to happen. Okay. So, so when you analyze your problems over and over in your mind, trying to rationalize it and trying to solve yourself. And I used to do this a lot. Okay. So my career in product design and development as an industrial designer was to solve problems. Our job as an entrepreneur, as a business person, is to solve problems. Okay. So we're very used to seeing problems as a very normal thing. Problems is just a way of life, right? This is again a belief. So if you're always focusing on everything in your life as a problem, then this is the number one reason why manifestations aren't working. Okay. Another thing I used to do a lot is worry. It was I've discussed this with a few friends already, especially if you're from a cultural background similar to mine. My parents are Asian. It seems to be a very normal thing to worry a lot, especially about your children. And my mom used to have a very, very intense way of looking after me, which was worry about me. So she'd worry about me when I'd go out, saying it's not you that I don't trust, it's the people around you. So all this worry really had a huge impact on me. I felt like it was a very toxic energy. And now I understand why. And as this book says, that worrying constantly about things, in the same way as seeing it as a problem, but also focusing on the negative energy of the situation, only brings more of that situation towards you. So for example, another friend we were talking about, we'd been scammed. I think most of us in our life have been scammed in some sort of way. And her husband said, and we were talking about manifestation and scams, and he said, did she manifest that because she was constantly watching social media about being scammed? And actually, I do believe that, because this book actually backs it up and says that if you keep focusing on those things that worry you and the negative, then that's what actually happens. And I'm going to explain a little bit later in in this podcast why those negative things manifest instead of the good things that manifest. Okay. So yeah, this worrying energy is like hugely debilitating. So this means that you're consistently focusing on this as a problem, and this is actually what perpetuates the problem. So when you're thinking about it relentlessly, that, you know, trying to solve this problem, like you need to really like go all at it. You need to like really put all your energy in trying to solve the problem. This is a false belief that perpetuates the problem. Okay. And another thing is that if you manifest something and then all of a sudden lose it, like you might have this really amazing business, you have this amazing relationship, and all of a sudden it goes crap, like you go bankrupt, or, you know, and you go in these huge waves that swing up and down. This is actually just a really common thing that happens when you first start manifesting, because it's actually caused by unconscious beliefs that you're still holding on to. So as you grow and start to master manifesting in your life, you're going to like, I guess, dig out all those like old beliefs that stop you from getting what you're asking for in your manifestation. Okay. So, yeah, just like with anything, practicing anything new, manifesting is a skill that can be learnt. And as you experience more and more results, you'll start to analyze and go, oh, I think I'm pretty sure I lost that thing that I manifested because these unconscious beliefs were still blocking me, and hence pushed that away, or it brought me that energy of what I was focusing on. Okay. So another really great tip for manifesting is to let go of the need to force something, or that you have to surrender. It's all about just being who you are. So dropping all the negative and all the things that are not you, because inherently we are pure spiritual love energy, and that's actually who we are. This human body that we have tends to take on the lower energy frequencies of Earth, which is a much lower frequency than that of if you believe in heaven or the spiritual world. And so if we continue to hold on to the negative energies, which are lower than who we actually are, we keep attracting those kind of things, right? The things that we don't want. So make sure you step into your natural goodness. It's about stepping into your natural goodness and allowing yourself to be just who you are, that nothing should come through force or exertion or trying to control. Otherwise you would have it by now, right? So think about all those times when you really tried something, you really went on the online dating, you really tried looking for your man, and what happens? Often you might get the wrong guy, or he's not the right guy, or just trying to force a situation will give you some kind of results, but it may not be the one you want, or it may not, you may not be able to maintain that. Okay. So these manifestations often are the result of effortlessness and just being completely who you are on the inside as a spiritual being. The point is also to keep releasing resistance towards, love and relationships, and not to see it as solving a problem. So dropping the resistance will allow you to come back in towards who you really are, which is that beautiful, loving spiritual being. So keep continually dropping and letting go of the idea, that belief that you have a problem, there is a problem, that, there's something to solve, something to fix, because that is the main thing that keeps the problem there, okay? So instead, focus on your current well-being. We're not here on Earth to solve any problems. We're here instead to, we're creators, and we are mimic our creator. So we're here on Earth to create. So what this, I guess this podcast is about is to instead change how you think and feel about love and relationships. And that's the main thing that blocks our our manifestations from happening. So what you need to be, I guess, if you need to feel like you need to be doing something, is just to always get back to that feeling of the love, joy, and peace, to feeling really good about yourself. And that's when things start happening for you. That's a secret. And I talk about this in my training on the love journey, is to be the most magnetic version of yourself, is actually to be letting go of a lot of those negative energies that don't serve you anymore. Those things that used to, that protect you, that the ego is there to protect you and keep you safe. But we don't need the ego to help us to manifest. All the answers in life are already within you, and knowing more does not equal fulfillment. So what you need to be looking at is through the lens of not that, I need to know more about, need to know more information, but I need to understand more. I need to understand how manifestation actually works in order to transform. And the transformation will be effortless, and it's not something you try hard for. It's just becomes a knowing that you're like, oh, all of a sudden I really get what I have to do now in life in order to have things happen the way I want them to. There's also this belief, of having to be constantly stimulated externally, having to seek outside of yourself to know the answers, when in reality, actually, we have all the answers within ourselves. We know all the answers already. Because we are spiritual beings, it's all within us. It may just take a lot of time to refine your meditation practice, to go within yourself, to sit still and allow universe to connect you with the right answers that you need to go forward, that you are wanting to know about. But those answers can actually also come through other people giving you ideas, just like I saw the post about this book and decided I really wanted to understand more about manifestation and how that really, really works. So when you have true abundance, when you know you can connect with the source energy at any moment, and everything will flow to you, like love and relationships, health and money will flow to you once you know how to connect with your source energy, which is why meditation is so powerful, and everyone always talks about it. But why the heck are you meditating for? You're not just actually, trying to sit still and not move a muscle. There's not the point. The point is just to quieten the mind, because the mind is the ego, and it's a lot of chatter that stops you from going within. And that's why a lot of people find it really hard to meditate, because it's the ego wanting to be stimulated, wanting to be, it's trying to do its job to keep you safe. But in reality, all we need to do is still the mind and just be quiet and peaceful, and allow the answers, which is the feminine energy of receiving the answers from our creator, from the source energy of, if we are looking for some particular way of, we what we want, and it will come to us through the meditation, not through external, strategies or things like that. The irony also is that when you give up the need to search for it, that it actually starts to come to you. So I know that a lot of women might wanting to manifest their partner might be like, okay, well, I'm just going to stop dating altogether. I'm going to give up on these apps. And it's still very ego-driven way of trying to find a solution, instead of just giving it up and actually really believing that, hey, my perfect soulmate, my partner, he's there already. He's there. And all I need to do is go within to send him a message so that you can connect and you can come together, and which is what happened when I was manifesting Raf. He heard my message through the universe and came to one of my events. The other misconception with manifesting is that you need to try really hard, that you need to do these affirmations, you need to keep this visual image really focused in your mind, and really focus your intention. And the opposite is true, is that you just need a light intention, a light touch. Like, for example, have you ever manifested something and was like, oh, that came really quickly, and it was just so effortless? Like, so for example, I tend to manifest clothes, or like something like very easy and lighthearted like that. I'll think about, oh, I would like to have this particular dress or something, and then the next shop I walk into, it's there at the right price and it fits well, and it was so very easy and, you know, very effortless and very light. And another example was I was on the way to meet a friend for her birthday, and I said to myself, oh, I need to find a cake shop. And on Google Maps I was kind of looking a little bit, but, you know, I was just walking on the way to my friend's place. And as I crossed the road, I saw that there was this beautiful cake shop, and I was like, oh, that's exactly what I wanted. And I just went in there and, you know, bought her a birthday cake. So it's little things like that. Start to think of and build evidence in your mind of those times when you've manifested something small, and it happened for you, and you can be pleased with yourself and show gratitude to the universe and say thank you. And it's like, wow, this is actually really easy. And that's the way it needs to be. No matter if it's a big thing or a small thing, it doesn't matter. It's all about your having this light intention and just listening to intuition and taking the action to go with it. Also, you need to know that your current reality is an illusion. It's that because there is no such thing as time, and that, you know, time as we know it is linear, that a new reality is created for you all the time. It's occurring for you all the time. So when you look at your current reality and it's like, okay, I don't have my partner there, it's always hard to just ignore that for now and realize the new reality is on its way. And in the book, it talks about thinking about manifestation as, you know, remember one of those old school movie projectors? They had the film, and then they projected onto a big screen. So if life, as we know it, is the big screen, and our internal guidance, our spiritual being is like the film that is being projected, then you need to think about life like that. So if life, as you know it, your reality is not the way you want it, then stop believing that you can change that part. You need to actually change the film, the one that's being projected first. So your internal state needs to change before your external reality can change. That was a really amazing example from the book. So basically, how can you do all this? So in the book, he says, all you need to do is set aside about 15 minutes a day, and you can do that like three times a day, longer if you know, longer, and you can get, like, I get what he says, better results quicker or more intensively. And just to go within and to get back to your original state, which is love, joy, and peace, and that higher vibration. And just continually keep dropping, keep letting go, as the book Letting Go that I've mentioned, I recommend quite a lot to a lot of my students and clients and my friends. It's this process of letting go of all the heavy stuff that doesn't serve us anymore, so that we can get back into being who we naturally are. And that is how we are able to manifest the things that we want. Okay, so when you get back to your natural state, that's when things actually naturally start to happen. And it's not about trying to force things to come to you or bring them, you know, into your life. It's more about opening your eyes to the abundance that is already there. So in this book, he also says that imagine that you're standing in this field of beautiful flowers, like your favorite flower, and that there's a magnificent field as far as the eye can see, and this field is just covered, and you're standing right in the middle of this field of flowers. And the way that you would see how beautiful they are is just to simply open your eyes and observe and notice and be present that they are already there. So your love, your ideal man is already there in your life, and that you simply have to open your eyes to be able to and be present to actually see all this beauty and abundance. But if you are in this beautiful field of flowers, but you're constantly thinking about something else, worried about like, oh, is there going to be a hurricane, or is the weather going to change and these field of flowers is going to be ruined? If your focus is on that, you're not going to be able to see this beautiful, the beauty that is already there, right? Does that make sense? So that, like life, if everything is already there in your life and you simply, your only job is simply to focus on the beauty and the goodness and abundance that's there, then if you're constantly worried and focusing on like, oh, I'm still single, or I need to hurry up and, my biological clock is ticking, or oh, I'm getting a bit older and I still haven't found anyone, then that is what you're going to get. So in the book also, he talks about the universe being like the universal secretary, where it just notes down everything that you think of. And that this is another really beautiful, powerful truth is that manifestation is not just about one major time that you go, okay, I need to make this manifestation and this is it. The manifestation actually happens because it's a collection of the majority of your thoughts. So if you're constantly focusing on the negative and the worry and that you don't have something, this is what universe delivers. So as the book says, the universal secretary writes down all the things that you want. So it says like, oh, this nice car, that would be nice to have. So universal secretary writes it down. Oh, that nice relationship, that would be nice to have. Universal secretary writes it down. So when this notebook that the secretary is writing in, it starts to fill up with all the things that you say, that you think about, whether it be in the negative or the positive. Oh, I don't want that guy, that type of guy anymore in my life. That's what is written down and sent to the universe. So drop those thoughts of the negative types of relationships. And there's a famous quote of where energy focus goes, energy flows where focus goes. Yeah, that's it. And energy flows where focus goes. So if you're focusing on what they always say, positive thinking, then the consensus of your thoughts is what actually is delivered in your life. Okay, so imagine like those people who seem to have it all. They have this, they're really happy, they're really positive, they're amazing to be around. And they also have a really great life. They have great people around them. They have a great career. They're really fulfilled. Then look at what their thoughts generally are. And those are probably positive, happy. They're just really connected with themselves spiritually. They may or may not know it, but they're just living in this very natural way. And that's a way we're supposed to be, actually. So always know that it's the consensus of your thoughts that bring your manifestation into reality. Okay. And actually, when I was speaking to my client, she started to say, it's been so long that I've been with somebody that I'm starting to not believe that it's possible. And, and because in my program, it's to manifest your soulmate in 90 days. And I've, some of my students have actually manifested that. And they've told me, a couple of months later, oh, I've met somebody and things are going really great. So I've seen the evidence in my own life and with my students. And this one student was starting to say, well, I don't know if I believe that I can manifest anyone in 3 months, because she'd been single for so long. And so when we were masterminding this book, it was not so much about how much you believe in your own manifestation. And in this book, actually, the the author was saying that he was skeptical of his own big goals. But the point was that if you don't have those negative beliefs, if you are just going about your day, you're really in this happy, blissful, positive state, then the collection of your thoughts is that, oh, it's going to happen anyway, then it will happen for you, regardless of if you believe in whether you're going to, be in that relationship or not. Does that make sense? So what the book says is that nothing, like no goal, is out of your league, but it can be out of the league of your feelings and inner state. Okay, so what does that mean? The goal itself, your belief in the goal itself, doesn't affect the chances of it happening, but you need to be in the vibrational match of that goal. So perhaps the way you're feeling is out of league of that goal. So, for example, in terms of money, if your goal is to make, $1 billion and you don't believe that you can make $1 billion, but if your vibrational state is that of the highest vibration that attracts money of $1 billion, then you will receive that. But if your vibrational state is like, apathy, of like worry, of like, this is not going to happen, so why bother? That's also apathy. Then you will not be able to receive that $1 billion, right? So the same thing, you may not believe that you can be in a relationship because it may not have happened for a long time. You may have had some not so great relationships in your past, or you've never seen happy relationships before, so you're not sure if they even exist. But if you have the this vibrational level that you're what I call magnetic, that all the heavy feelings from the past, you've already done the work and let them go, then it's just a matter of time that universe will deliver that to you, because universe is really just so intent on giving us what we want, and it's really only us that blocks that from coming to us. So our only job is to keep focused on the things that we want and just let go of the how. That's the universe's job to deliver those details to us. So our job is basically to let go of all those heavy things that block us, be back into our most happy vibrational state, which is what the meditation helps us do, and just to keep focused on those things that we want, but not from an energy of I want that so much, because that also comes from an energy of desire, which is one of the lower levels of frequency, and it also indicates that we don't already have it. So we need to come from a place of like the field of flowers. It's already there, it's on its way, I trust it's coming, so I'm just going to go about my life and just get back to my most pure vibrational state. Hopefully this is all making sense to you. I know this is all like quite high level stuff, and it can be quite a bit woo woo, but this is actually the real truths about reality and about life. So what else? Okay. So back to again that you don't have to make a really big deal about what you want. It's universe always picks up on your smallest desires and preferences. So it's more about your continued focus, and that's what changes your reality. And going within and meditating, it naturally realigns you with who you really are, which is a vibrational match for the universe. So are you in a place to receive all that you ask for? Do you believe you can have it all? Do you feel undeserving? Do you or do you feel like you can only have it after you die and say go to heaven? Like, do you believe that it's greedy to have what you want right now, right? Do you believe you need to be waiting or punishing yourself in some way before you receive it? So the point is don't turn any of this into work. Just listen to these words and just kind of absorb them, and just listening to these will give you that transformation anyway. That's the point of, listening to these. It's not about trying to turn them into some, task or some type of work. Also, stop seeing that, this is another thing that blocks you, is that seeing that your current reality is unchangeable, that it's cast in stone, and that it's going to be hard work to change, right? This is something that also blocks you. Just know that everything is so fluid and flexible and transformative that things can change really in an instant. So even though if you've been single for a long time, just know that things can change. Like, you can meet your perfect guy within a week, within a day. These things really do happen. So keep your mind open and focused on just the intention and the summary of all your thoughts that this is going to happen for you. Another really cool thing the book says is don't pay any attention to anything that doesn't please you. And I really love this phrase, because it's more about just using your intuition and just using your own internal guidance to guide you, and stop listening to all these external things about what society thinks you should have, what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing, what others are doing that's working for them. Stop focusing on all that and start focusing on yourself and what pleases you. When you shift your focus, then everything changes in an instant, and it doesn't matter how long or how hard you've been asking. Just know that things can happen in a moment. And this is such a freeing and such a beautiful thought that hopefully it gives you really a sense of freedom as well. So what you're wanting to be doing is also to reduce your worry. So if you, like I said earlier on, if you were like me and thought that it was, to be like a good person, that you needed to worry a lot, then know that this is blocking you, and that your job is now to reduce your worry down to zero. So a really good technique, he said, that if you tend to worry like all day, give yourself this little exercise that instead of worrying the whole day, just condense that to say 15 minutes a day. So if you wake up in the morning and you're worried and you're thinking about the day ahead, or you're worried like, oh, I'm not going to meet anyone in the future, just say, okay, I have like until 9:15 and that's it. And so when you start to notice yourself worrying for like the rest of the day, then say to yourself, hey, I'm just going to think about it tomorrow at 9 a.m. and that's it. And it really puts things into perspective and makes you, brings a huge awareness to you and makes you realize, hey, I'm actually overdoing it with the worry energy. I really got to cut back, because that's not really how I'm supposed to be. So this has been a bit of a longer episode. There's probably a lot more to say, but I just really love this topic, and just really mastering manifestation is, I guess, one of my purpose in life, and to help people to, master this as well, because I think this is really like the essence of how to be, what we're supposed to be doing on earth in our lifetime. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions, make sure to reach out to me on my Instagram at Michelle Chung Coach. Make sure you follow me. I always talk about new episodes and new events that are coming up. And I hope you really enjoyed it and got something out of it. So thank you, and I'll see you later.